This is a catchily named ReddMango Libra QS722, and it's a digital photo frame that was very kindly sent in by Stuart. Stuart says, "Hello Steve, enclosed is a digital photo frame but it isn't working. I've plugged it in and the charger feels like it gets warm. There's an SD card in the slot with a few pictures of me and my son Brody. If you decide to have a play with it and succeed, I don't mind the photos being shown. Good looks, Stuart." So thank you very much, Stuart. So this is the power supply that Stuart sent in. That must be the photos on that SD card there. We've got a DC in here. Let's have a look at this power supply. It is 5 volts DC at 1 amp. Let's just make sure that this is outputting 5 volts before we go any further. Multimeter in. Voltage DC. Right, let's see what we got. Center pin positive. And there we go. 5.1 volt. Okay, let's plug it in. It does have a power button there on the back. Well, it certainly isn't coming on. Let's see if the power supply is getting warm. Not yet. I mean, I'm sure it will if I leave it on for a bit. Right, my first thought there is that this is some kind of a short then, isn't it? Because it's getting 5 volts. If the power supply does get warm, then that would indicate a short. How am I going to take this apart? There's no visible screws. Might be one under there. Well, let's give it a go. Do you know what I'm going to try, actually, before I take it apart? I'm going to try plugging it in without that. I mean, it's unlikely that that is causing an issue, but you never know. Let's cover all the bases. No, still not coming on.
Well, here's the thing from the ReddMango. It's a digital frame, don't you know? A portal in the photos you can reminisce. Just don't have any of the yet. Have you taken the Is the charger getting hot for your TV? Not yet weblaw, but it might be. If I left it a while, Ed McLaughlin, it might explode and go in the bin. That's trash receptacle to my American friends or something like that. Hey, Liebens. Oh, Brian Mitchell, have you heard that hers a tenuous rifle? Dr. Princess Rosie. That's clever, eh? Christopher Shaw, not as clever as rhyming that with second 4. Okay, Steve, you're a nutter of a man. Yes, cool Jingers, that is the plan. Moving swiftly onto the HHG, Frosty Cool Slug, Super Andy, Pip H Nate, Lucas Ozzy B, James Frank, John Crochet, Michael Bay, Sarah Camp, Jonathan Harden, Flux, Scott make a thing or 2 rocket socks, Charge Nut, Andy Banks, get the money, Emma Westwood, James Day, Steve Stepanik in the place, and that leaves who? The one, the only, Larry W. So with that done, let's do the fixie bit, if LPS can even get into it. Peace.
Right, we're in. I'd like to say that was easy, but I suppose it kind of was. It just took me a while. Right, there's quite a bit of... I mean, I don't know if that's water damage or what. There's quite a bit of residue on the board. Right, well, let's take this board out, and then we should have access to the inputs for the DC power jack, etc. Right, okay. Well, I think probably the first thing we should try now is just put the power jack back in and just see if we've got the 5 volts at the back here. That's 3 volts. Wait, what? Why is it 3 volts? 5.2. 3. I don't understand. Why would it do that? I genuinely don't understand. It's not like there's any resistors or anything. Those are directly connected to the board. Is there something dragging it down? Right. Well, let's actually just try it now with those disconnected. See if it was the screen maybe pulling it down. No, 3 volts. What have we got on here? 3 volts. Okay, let's get this under the microscope. Okay, so this is where I was taking the measurement from. So I was getting 3 volts between this pin and those two there. And on this side, so we do have some components here. I mean, it's a little bit dirty. J3Y, I recognise that. Why would it only be 3 volts? Let me just clean this area up so I can just have a better look at what's going on. And yes, obviously we're going to use some isopropyl alcohol, 99.9%.
Pure.
So is it maybe this here that's dragging it down? Is that it's J3Y? Is that turning it into 3 volts? So there's a positive to the big one. Yes, it is. Well, that's 3.2 volts. That's climbing. It's climbing. It's dropped down again. It's all over the place. Right, so we've got power in. I'm just going to take a ground from here. And then from this point here, this is where we should have the 3 volts. It's now 3.6. What is going on? And climate. Is this a capacitor issue? We've got a cap here. Let's flip it over and see what's on that cap. So we're plugged in still. 3.8. It is still climbing. Why is it climbing? I mean, the capacitor itself looks fine, but it might not be. Is it a bit bulged at the side? I don't know, it looks like a bit of an irregular shape. I mean, what else have we got? We've got more caps here. Again, they look fine on the face of it. Right, on nothing more than a whim, I'm going to take that capacitor out and I'm going to measure it out of circuit. It should be 16 volt, 100 microfarad. Let's do that. And this is just a whim. Here we go. I just dropped it on the floor. Right, found it. Let's just put our multimeter into capacitance, which is that one. And let's see what we got. 111. It's not far off. It's 10 over what it should be. I've actually got. Someone bought me one of those ESR things. This thing. And I don't think they put a note with it, because if they did, I don't have it now. So I'm sorry. Whoever bought it, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Let's see if we can use it. Right, what do? 0 needs to short test leads. Okay, so short test leads and 0. Okay. Right, so we need the positive and the negative. Right, that's 12. So it should be 100 UF. It's 16 volt. So it should be 0.7 worst case. And what am I getting there? 13.3. I don't really know what I'm doing with this, but that doesn't seem right. Let me get a working one. 100 microfarads, 16 volts. Problem is, that's tiny. Maybe one of these ones will do. These are like the SMD ones. These will be about the same size. 100. Oh, they got 116 volt. There we go. So 4 in from the right middle one. That one right there. Right, let's see what reading we get on that. Right, we've zeroed again. Positive and negative. 1.5. Well, that's still more than 0.7. But it's not 13, so I wish I knew what I was doing. Let's try putting this capacitor in. Maybe there's nothing to do with that capacitor, but while I've got this one out, I might as well swap it over. That's not going to have made any difference, but let's just test it anyway. 3.6 and climbing. Right, I'm just going to leave this on there and see how much that climbs to. Actually, is it possible that it's the power supply? Finally! That when it's under load, it's struggling, and it's nothing to do with anything that's on this board. That is still climbing. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put bench power supply, 5 volts, straight into here. See what happens. Right, I think we're good. I'm just going to put that under there to stop it from shorting out. Right, 5 volts. Right, 5 volts, 2 amps. Right, well, we've got some movement on the screen. I don't think I've got the screen plugged in properly. I think this is working. There you go. Yeah, I've just not got the screen in properly. Okay. So I think it's a power supply problem. Finally! Right, I've been messing around with this for ages now, and I'm convinced it is the power adapter. And because I don't have another one, I thought I might try and convert it to USB-C. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to try. Now, I figure the best place for it to go is going to be here, so we can keep the original jack, but also put a USB-C one in this position here that's not really in focus. The only slight problem with that is it's where that capacitor is that I changed earlier, and it's going to kind of be in the way. So what I thought I'd try and do is just see if I remove this capacitor and put a surface mount one on the other side, is that going to work? So I'm going to test that first. If it does work with the capacitor on the other side, then I can just mount the USB-C here, because there's plenty of space. So let's try that. It might be a complete waste of time, but I'm going to give it a go. Something different. Or something. Nice. Right, let's see if that works. Let's put the bench power supply on now. Yes, it does. Nice. Now it's time to see if the USB-C will power this thing. If I can find the port, which is under here somewhere. Obviously I've spilt my IPA. There it is. Right, so that is negative. And that is positive. So if I put 5 volts in there now, is that going to work? What do we think? No idea, but let's try. No, I actually don't think I'm on that properly. There we go. Yes. Okay. I think it might work. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but who cares? I think it'll work. I can clean that up a bit, maybe. Right, let's see. Let's see if that works. Right. Is that going to work? Let's put that in. Let's be positive. Okay. Here we go. Let's turn these lights off. Oh yes. I'm guessing that's Brody. Don't like the look of that football stadium. It looks a lot like City. In which case... Not that I'm a bitter red or anything. Right, well I guess... I mean, was that a fix? Not really. I think the power supply was just dodgy. But what I have done is I have enhanced it. You can now power it via USB-C. You can even use a power bank. I presume it would work just as fine plugged into the wall. Might explode, I don't know. So thanks again, Stuart, for sending it over, even though you are a City fan. And I think we can all agree on this one that it was a particularly stupid power adapter. Possibly.
Country roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain my life.